Greetings, friends. Happy Friday. The word for today is revolution. And revolution comes specifically from the Sabian symbol for today. The sun at 5 degrees Gemini is illuminating a quality of desire for change, a deep desire for change. And the symbol, the archetype, the oracle for this day is a revolutionary magazine calling for action. And so this is representing the deep desire of our subconscious and of our culture and of our world, the deep desire for change, the call to action for change. And this change, we know revolution can be violent, but it doesn't have to be. The call for change and the desire for change, if we hold it within and we connect with our own desire for change, then we're able to access our inner wisdom. This is very much the power of the subconscious and the inner truth that we hold and that we are each learning to connect with on a deeper level. So I've been really curious, as you know, if you've been following the daily messages. This is my first year to personally travel day by day through the messages. I started in the beginning of September, following them on a daily basis and meditating with the sun each day. And so I received so much insight and support from this practice of every day connecting with the sun and a new aspect of illuminated awareness. And that's all to say that I've been super curious to come to the month of Gemini, because Gemini activates awareness with the capacity to transcend old beliefs and really blow open our preconceptions so that we can connect with deeper wisdom. In the tarot, one of the reasons I've been curious about this month with the Sabian is because in the tarot, all three cards associated with Gemini are Bardo cards, the 8, 9, and 10 of Swords, meaning they're cards of opportunities for inner healing. So I've been really looking forward to following these patterns on a daily basis. So what's coming up so far? We're at 5 Gemini. In these very first days of Gemini are new activations of the awareness of contrast and the beauty of contrast and the depth of contrast. And Gemini starts with a connection to the subconscious. The very first symbol in Gemini is of a beautiful glass-bottomed boat looking at all the treasures within the sea. So deep below. So this is an anchor point for us whenever we receive a trigger based on a perception of contrast, to realize that something within us is being activated, a treasure, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's a buried trauma or a limited belief or an awareness of something we don't like outside of us. It's all about something we've created within. So the sign for today, the symbol and the message for today from the sun is to pay attention to contrast and to hold awareness of your desires for change and your desire for revolution. We are, as a world, engaged in revolution right now. Everything's changing. The forms and structures that have been established of authority don't serve our alignment with inner truth. All those that don't serve are being dismantled, and we're participating in that. We're contributing with our own daily consciousness. We are contributing to the evolution of mass consciousness, of the consciousness of our people and our world, each of us together. So pay attention today to contrast, pay attention to your deep desire and commitment to change, and then know that whatever's coming up, whether it's internal or external, is part of what you're showing up for. So I went to the the Wild Unknown tarot cards today. I was drawn to go to these cards for a personal message, and I'm going to bring it forward because it is really related to this, and it's a lovely synchronicity. I drew one card saying, what do we need to know right now about really showing up for the power of our mind and the power of discernment? and the power of contrast, and the power to come into relationship with what we want to change. And we received Queen of Swords, Mother of Swords. So Queen of Swords is a card of a transcended sight, an ability to have mastery from within of our mind and our perceptions. And I love this image of Queen of Swords because it's the owl, and the owl is a symbol of wisdom and depth held in the night, and held in the owl is associated with the moon and associated with divine feminine. So it's the mystery of the night, the mystery of change, our ability to adapt and align through our inner truth. And notice the down pointing sword, which is the sword of truth held within, and the commitment to inner truth. So for those of you who work with the Animal Speak Oracle book, I felt a calling from my friend Ted Andrews, who wrote the book, to look up his messages about owl. And so I pulled out my trusty Animal Speak, which is always at ready. And the book literally, I'm not exaggerating, fell open to this page on owl. And so there's a strong message today for all of us to pay attention to owl and the medicine of owl, which is the medicine of inner wisdom, the wisdom of our subconscious, of our inner truth, of our soul, and the way in which we can learn to heal what is being called forward within by paying attention to contrast without. It's really, this is a summation of what it means to be human, and what we have to learn in this treasure of this world. So revolution is, the revolution that's called for is not to force against anything or to struggle or fight against anything. The explosive quality that's called forward is the explosion of insight and the explosion of awareness and the explosion of joy and realization with new truth and new understanding and new insight about what's possible. So have a great day of contrast and exploration and discovery in your world, and I'll see you again tomorrow.